everyone, I am Sir Jasper and let's talk about extracting the roots of a quadratic equation. No? So under ito ng lesson ng quadratic equation, kaya kilalanin muna natin ang quadratic equation. No? So since quadratic equations are equations in the degree of 2, no? So anong sabi? Degree of 2, quadratic equation. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin pag ang isang equation ay nasa degree of 2? Ibig sabihin, the highest exponent is 2. Kaya, kapag ang isang equation at yung pinakamataas na exponent doon ay 2, tinatawag natin yun na quadratic equations. Okay? And then, syempre, kapag ka naka-degree of 2, meron din siyang dalawang solutions. No? So, solutions is also called x or sometimes it is called roots. Ito yung sinosolve natin. No? Yung sinosolve natin yung x and then tinatawag din yun na roots. So there are different ways to solve quadratic equation. Isa na nga yung pag-aaralan natin ngayon na extracting the roots. Meron ding factoring, meron ding completing the squares, meron ding quadratic formula, no? So this module will focus on solving quadratic equations using extracting the roots. So let us recall square root. What do you mean by square root? Ano nga ba yung function ng square root? Square root cancels any number or variable with an exponent of 2. No? Ganun lang siya kasimple. No? Kina-cancel niya yung exponent na 2 ng any number or any variable. Okay? So consider this example. Okay? So square root of 49. No? Square root of 49. So, think of a number that when you multiply by itself twice, the answer is 49. That is 7 times 7. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng 7 times 7? That is 7 squared, no? So, pwede nating palitan yung 49 ng 7 squared, kagaya dito sa may pangalawa natin. Okay? So, kagaya dito sa may pangalawa natin, naging 7 squared na lang siya. And then, anong sabi? Square root cancels any number or variable with an exponent of 2. Ibig sabihin, yung exponent na 2 ay makakancel. Okay? Kapag ka-in-square root natin yung 7 squared, yung squared niya ay makakancel. So, ano na lang matitira? Ang matitira na lang dyan ay 7. So, the answer for square root of 49 is positive negative 7. Sir, question, bakit po may positive negative 7? Bakit? Okay, so ito yung sagot, no? 7 times 7, or let's say positive 7 times positive 7. Anong sagot? 49. Eh, how about negative 7 times negative 7? That is positive 49 pa rin, no? Always remember, negative times negative is positive, no? So, negative 7 times negative 7, that is positive 49. Kaya, yung dalawang sagot dito ay isang positive 7 at isang negative 7. Okay? So, always remember, kapag nag-a-apply tayo ng square root, laging, yung sagot natin ay laging may positive negative. Okay? So, let's try another example. Let's say, square root of 36b squared, no? Square root of 36b squared. Okay? So, paghiwalayin natin siya ng pag-solve, no? Unahin muna natin yung 36. Think of a number that when you multiply by itself twice, okay? The answer is 36. Ano yun? That is 6 times 6. Okay? So, yung 36 natin dito, palitan natin ng 6 squared, no? Kasi 6 times 6 is also 6 squared, no? So, palitan lang natin yung 36 ng 6 squared. So, magiging square root of 6 squared b squared. Anong sabi kanina? Square root cancels any number or variable with an exponent of 2, no? So, nakakancel yung exponent na 2. So, ano na lang matitira sa 6 squared b squared? Magiging 6b na lang siya kasi mawawala na yung exponent na 2, no? So, the answer here is positive negative 6b. Okay? Next one. Square root of 169. Now, think of a number that when you multiply by itself twice, the answer is 169. That is 13. No? 13 times 13 is 169. So, yung 13 times 13, pwede natin siyang i-convert as 13 squared. So, yung 169 magiging 13 squared na lang siya. And then, square root cancels any number variable with an exponent of 2. So, makakancel na natin yung exponent na 2. So, ano na lang matitira dun sa 13 squared? magiging 13 na lang siya. So, the answer here is positive, negative, 13. Next one. Okay, so kapag ganito ang given, square root of parenthesis x plus 2 squared, no? Kapag ganyan ang given, mag-proceed ka na kagad sa pag-cancel nung exponent. Okay? Kapag ganito yung given, magpo-proceed ka na kagad sa pag-cancel nung exponent. So, square root of x plus 2 squared, no? Cancel mo na kagad yung squared sa dulo. Ano na lang matitira? Yung parenthesis x plus 2. And then, lagyan mo na lang siya ng positive, negative. So, the answer is positive, negative, x plus 2. Okay? Next one. Okay, so, let's say, square root of 4x squared, no? Square root of 4x squared. Similar lang ito dun sa may number 2, no? Similar lang ito dun sa may number 2 natin. Okay? So, think of a number that when you multiply by itself twice, the answer is 4. Anong number yon? That is 2 times 2. Diba? So, 2 times 2 is also 2 squared. Kaya, pwede nating palitan yung 4x squared ng 2 squared x squared. Kagaya dito sa may pangalawa natin. Okay? Magiging 2 squared x squared na siya. And always remember, square root cancels any number or variable with an exponent of 2. So, nakakancel yung exponent na 2 natin. Ano na lang matitira dun sa 2 squared x squared? Magiging 2x na lang. Mawawala na yung squared. Okay? So, lalagyan mo lang siya ng positive, negative, and that's it, no? The answer here is positive, negative, 2x. Okay, how about this one? Square root of 50, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na perfect square, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na perfect square. Ano-ano yung mga perfect square? Let's say, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, no? Yun yung mga perfect square. Sir, bakit sila naging perfect square? Bakit? Kasi sila yung nai-square root, di ba? Sila yung may exact amount or exact square root, di ba? So, halimbawa, yung 1, what is the square root of 1? 1. What is the square root of 4? 2. What is the square root of 9? 3. What is the square root of 16? 4. What is the square root of 25? 5. Okay? So, ngayon, punta tayo sa may example number 6 natin. Square root of 50. Now, think of a number that when you multiply by itself, the answer is 50. Meron ba? Meron ba? Wala. Therefore, 50 is considered as not a perfect square. Diba? Kasi walang number na kapag pinultiply niya sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 50. Okay? Meron. Halimbawa, 5 times 5, 25. Okay? Yung 25 pwede. Pero yung 50, wala. Okay? Now, kapag ganito ang given, no? Kapag ganito ang given, hindi siya na perfect square, hanapin mo yung factors niya na merong perfect square. Ano-ano ba yung factors ng 50? Pwedeng 5 times 10. Pwede. Pwede ring 2 times 25. Tama? Pwede yung 2 times 25. So, alin dun sa dalawang factors na binanggit ko yung merong perfect square? Yung 2 times 25. Okay? So, papalitan mo yung 50 ng 25 times 2, kagaya dito sa may pangalawa natin. Okay? So, yung 50 magiging 25 times 2. So, magiging square root of 25 times 2. Now, okay? Anong gagawin dyan? Meron dyang na-perfect square. Tama? Yung 25. Okay? So, what is 25? That is 5 squared. Okay? So, yung 25, that is 5 squared. Or simply, 5 times 5, that is 25. Okay? So, palitan mo lang yung 25 ng 5 squared. So, magiging square root of 5 squared times 2. Okay? Now, sabi nga kanina, naka-cancel daw yung exponent na 2. So, cancel lang yung exponent na 2. Lalabas si number 5 dun sa may square root. No? Lalabas si number 5 dun sa may square root natin. Ngayon, the answer here is positive, negative 5 square root of 2. Sir, question, bakit naiwan si 2 dun sa may loob ng square root? Kasi, hindi naman natin siya na-applyan ng square root, no? Hindi naman kasi perfect square si 2. So, may iwan lang siya dun sa loob. Okay? So, the answer here is positive, negative 5 square root of 2. Okay? Next tayo. Example number 7, square root of 6, no? So, may number ba na kapag ka minultiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 6? Meron ba? Wala, no? Now, think of factors of 6. Ano-ano ba yung mga factors ng 6? 6 times 1, may perfect square ba doon? Wala. 2 times 3, may perfect square ba doon sa 2 at saka sa 3? Wala din. Okay? Wala nang ibang factors yung 6. Therefore, yun na kagad yung sagot, no? Gagawin mo lang positive, negative, square root of 6. Okay? Linawin ko yung example number 6 at saka example number 7. Sa example number 6, hindi siya perfect square. Pero may factor siya na may perfect square. Kaya na-apply pa rin natin yung square root. Okay? Kaya yung 50, no? Naging 25 times 2, naging 5 squared times 2, and then syempre na-cancel yung squared, lumabas yung 5. Okay? Sa may number 7, hindi siya perfect square. Wala din siyang factors na may perfect square. So, siya na yung sagot, no? So, the answer here is positive, negative, square root of 6. Okay? So, na-recall na natin yung square root. Let's talk about extracting the roots, no? One way to solve the quadratic equation is through extracting the roots, no? Quadratic equations in the form of ax squared is equal to c. Like 3x squared is equal to 27, or b squared minus 100 is equal to 0. Or c plus 4 squared is equal to 25 can be solved using this method. Ibig sabihin, yung mga form na binigay ko kanina, itong tatlong form na ito, okay? Ito yung nasosolve ng method na extracting the roots, no? So, let's study the following examples. By the way, bigyan ko muna kayo ng tips, okay? The left side, no? Left side ng equal sign containing the variable must be a perfect square. Paano nga ulit masasabi na may perfect square? Kapag meron siyang namumultiply sa sarili niya. Halimbawa, x squared, no? Yung x squared isa yung variable na may exponent na 2. Perfect square yan. Now, 4a squared, meron siyang variable na may exponent na 2. Perfect square siya. Tanong, yung 4 ba perfect square din? Yes. Bakit? May number na kapag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 4. Ano yun? 2. Okay? So, perfect square ang 4a squared. How about 9b squared? Perfect square ba yan? Yes, no? Perfect square ang 9b squared. Bakit? Yung b squared, perfect square yon. Variable na may exponent na 2. Now, question is, yung 9 ba ay perfect square? Yes. May number ba na kapag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 9? Meron. Ano yun? 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Kaya consider ang 9b squared as perfect square, no? So, left side containing the variable must be a perfect square. Yun yung unang tip natin. Pangalawa, if the numerical coefficient of the variable is not a perfect square, no? Is not a perfect square. Divide both sides by the coefficient. So, kapag hindi siya perfect square, yung numerical coefficient na katabi ng variable, i-divide mo both sides by the numerical coefficient. Okay? So, pag sinabing numerical coefficient, yun yung number before the variable. And then, all constants must be in the right side. Since it must be ax squared is equal to c. Diba yung c, yan yung constant? Ibig sabihin, lahat ng constant number dapat nasa right side. Pag sinabing constant, it is a number without a variable. Okay? So, gamit yung mga tips na yan, let's solve case number 1. Okay? Find the solutions of h squared is equal to 144. Kopyahin lang muna natin. Now, the question is, yung h squared ba ay perfect square? Yes, di ba? Perfect square yung h squared. Bakit? Isa siyang variable na may exponent na 2. Okay? So, kapag okay na kagad yung nasa left side, apply the square root to both sides kagad, no? So, apply lang tayo ng square root sa both sides. Magiging square root of h squared is equal to the square root of 144. Okay? And then, simply, anong sabi ko kanina? Yung square root, nakakancel niyan yung exponent na 2. So, yung h squared natin ay magiging h na lang. Now, think of a number that when you multiply by itself, the answer is 144. Anong number yon? That is 12, diba? 12 times 12 is 144. So, the square root of 144 is positive, negative 12. So, the answer for case number 1 is h is equal to positive, negative 12. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay? Example for case number 1. Find the solutions of 4x squared is equal to 36. No? So, kopyahin lang muna natin. 4x squared is equal to 36. Question, yung 4x squared ba ay perfect square? Breakdown muna natin. Yung x squared ba ay perfect square? Yes. Okay? Variable na may exponent na 2. Yung 4 ba ay perfect square? Yes. Ano bang number yung kapag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 4? That is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So, consider yung 4x squared as perfect square. Apply square root ka na kagad. Saan? Sa both sides, no? Apply ka na kagad ng square root sa both sides. So, magiging square root of 4x squared is equal to the square root of 36. And then, anong sabi ko kanina? Nakakancel ng squared yung exponent na 2. By the way, yung 4 ba? Ano nga ulit yung 4? That is 2 times 2. Or 2 squared, no? So, nakakancel yung exponent na 2, kaya magiging 2x na lang siya. Okay? Yung 4x squared or simply 2 squared x squared, makakancel na yung mga squared doon. Kaya magiging 2x na lang. Okay? Now, is equal to the square root of 36. Think of a number that when you multiply by itself, the answer is 36. That is 6. Kaya ang square root ng 36 ay positive, negative 6. So, nandito na tayo. 2x is equal to positive, negative 6. Anong sabi? Kapag may numerical coefficient, yung variable natin, divide both sides by the numerical coefficient. Okay? So, divide both sides lang natin. 2 divided by 2, that is 1. 6 divided by 2, that is 3. Kaya yung 2x is equal to positive, negative 6, magiging x is equal to positive, negative 3. Okay? Case number 2 tayo. Find the solutions of 9r squared minus 81 is equal to 0. So, kopyahin muna natin. Kanina meron akong binanggit, no? Anong sabi ko doon? All constants must be in the right side. Okay? May constant number ba dito? Meron. Yung negative 81, nasang side siya ng equal sign? Nasa left side. So, anong gagawin pag nasa left side? Kailangan daw nasa right side. All constants must be in the right side. So, you will just transpose negative 1 sa negative 81 sa right side, magiging positive 81. Always remember, when you transpose a number from side to side, nag-change tayo ng sign. Okay? Kaya yung negative magiging positive. Yung positive magiging negative. Okay? So, sa given natin, negative 81, transpose na, nilipat natin sa kabila, naging positive 81. So, we have 9r squared is equal to 81. Para na siyang kagaya nung case number 1. Okay? Tanong, ang 9r squared ba ay perfect square? Yes. Bakit? Kasi ang 9 ay perfect square. Yung r squared ay perfect square. Okay? So, apply na kagad tayo ng square root both sides. So, magiging square root of 9r squared is equal to the square root of 81. Now, always remember, nakakancel ng square root yung exponent na 2. And then, syempre, ano yung square root ng 9? Ano ba yung number na kapag pinag-multiply mo sa sarili niya ng 2 beses, ang lalabas ay 9? That is 3. So, ang square root ng 9 ay 3, ang square root ng r squared ay r, kaya ang sagot doon ay 3r. Okay? So, na-cancel na yung exponent na 2, kaya r na lang yan. Yung 9 naman, nung in-square root, that is 3. Okay? Now, Square root of 81, think of a number that when you multiply by itself, the answer is 81. Ayan na, nakasulat. That is 9. Okay? So, the square root of 81, that is positive, negative 9. So, we have 3r is equal to positive, negative 9. So, anong sabi? Divide both sides by the numerical coefficient para ma-solve mo yung r. Okay? Para ma-solve mo yung r, divide mo both sides by the numerical coefficient. Okay? So, divide both sides by the numerical coefficient. Ano yung numerical coefficient nung r? 3. Divide both sides mo lang. So, divide by 3, divide by 3. Yung 3r natin, magiging r na lang. Yung 9 natin, divided by 3, that is 3. So, the answer here is r is equal to positive, negative 3. By the way, yung r is equal to positive, negative 3, yan yung tinatawag na solutions. Okay? Anong sabi ko kanina? Ilan yung solution sa isang quadratic equation? 2. Kaya dito, tignan mo, 2 yan. Isang positive 3, isa ding negative 3. Take note, ha? Okay. Example for case number 2. Find the solutions of x squared minus 225 is equal to 0. Kopyahin muna natin. And then, anong sabi ko kanina? Yung golden rule, all constants must be in the right side. Yung negative 225 ay nasa left side. Saan siya dapat? Nasa right side. So, you will transpose negative 225 dun sa kabila. No? So, yung negative magiging positive. So, we have x squared is equal to 225. And then, yung x squared ba ay perfect square? Yes, no? Variable with an exponent of 2. So, apply square root to both sides ka na kagad dyan. So, apply square root ka lang dyan. Square root of x squared is equal to the square root of 25. Always remember, nakakancel yung exponent na 2 ng square root, no? So, yung x squared natin dyan, magiging x na lang. Now, square root of 25, what is it? That is positive, negative 5, no? So, the answer here is x is equal to positive, negative 5. Yung positive, negative 5, yan yung tinatawag na solutions. Okay? Case number 3 tayo. So, find the solutions of m squared plus 3 is equal to 51. Kopyahin muna natin. M squared plus 3 is equal to 51. Ano yung sabi ko kanina sa may case number 2? All constants must be in the right side, no? And then simplify, no? Meron ba tayong constant na nasa left side? Meron. Ano yun? Positive 3. So, anong gagawin? Kailangan siya ay nasa right side. So, you will transpose positive 3 sa right side. Magiging negative 3, no? So, nilipat mo na siya. And then, simplify. 51 minus 3, that is equal to 48. So, we have m squared is equal to 48. Now, yung m squared ba ay perfect square? Yes. It is a variable with an exponent of 2. So, apply square root ka na kagad both sides. So, we will have square root of m squared is equal to the square root of 48. Tanong, ang 48 ba ay perfect square? Meron mang number na kapag pinag-multiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 48? Wala. Okay? So, 48 is not a perfect square. But, meron ba siyang factors na may perfect square? Definitely, yes. Okay? So, think of the factors of 48 that has a perfect square. Ano yun? That is 16 times 3. Okay? 16 times 3 is 48, no? So, yung 16 ay perfect square. Okay? Now, so, square root of m squared is equal to the square root of 16 times 3, no? Yung 48 naging 16 times 3. So, pwede na nating square root yung 16? Pwede na. Okay? Now, apply mo muna natin yung square root dito sa left side. Square root of m squared, m na lang yan. Now, what is the square root of 16? That is 4. Okay? So, yung number na kapag minultiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 16, yun ay 4. Kaya lalabas siya doon sa may square root natin. Okay? Sa may radical sign. Okay? So, magiging positive, negative 4, square root of 3, no? So, m is equal to positive, negative 4 square root of 3. May iwan si square root of 3 dun sa loob ng radical sign kasi wala naman tayong ginawa sa kanya. Okay? So, may iwan lang siya dun. Example for case number 3. Find the solutions of 2x squared plus 5 is equal to 15. Kopyahin muna natin. 2x squared minus 5 is equal to 15. Anong sabi ko kanina? All constants must be in the right side. So, anong gagawin? Ililipat mo yung negative 5 sa right side. Isasama mo siya kay 15. So, yung negative 5 magiging positive 5. So, 2x squared is equal to 15 plus 5. No? 15 plus 5, ilan? That is 20. Now, 2x squared is equal to 20. Meron akong tanong, yung 2x squared ba ay isang perfect square? Breakdown natin. Yung x squared ba ay perfect square? Yes. It is a variable with an exponent of 2. Now, yung 2 ba ay perfect square? Think of a number that when you multiply by itself, the answer is 2. Anong number yon? Wala. No? Therefore, 2x squared is not a perfect square, no? Notice that the numerical coefficient of x is not a perfect square. Divide both sides by 2. Ito yung sinabi ko dun sa may tip number 2 kanina, 'di ba? Yung tip number 2 natin, kapag ka hindi perfect square yung numerical coefficient ng x, divide both sides by the numerical coefficient. Ano yung numerical coefficient natin dito? 2. So, you need to divide both sides by 2. So, 2x squared magiging x squared na lang siya. Yung 20 divided by 2 magiging 10 na lang siya. Okay? So, yung x squared is equal to 10. Now, perfect square na ba ang x squared? Yes. Okay? So, apply square root ka na kagad dyan. So, apply square root of x squared is equal to the square root of 10. Now, square root of x squared, that is equal to x. Okay? Kasi nakakancel na yung squared. Now, sa kabila, square root of 10. What is the square root of 10? May number ba na kapag ka pinag-multiply mo sa sarili niya, ang lalabas ay 10? Parang wala. 'Di ba? Meron ba siyang factors na kapag ka na may perfect square? Wala din. Kasi ano lang bang factors ng 10? 10 times 1. Meron ba dong perfect square? Yung 1. Pero wala rin namang mangyayari. Okay? 2 times 5. May perfect square ba doon? Wala din. Okay? So, anong ginagawa kapag wala talaga tayong makancel? 10 is not a perfect square and has no other factors that is a perfect square. Therefore, yun na kagad yung sagot. Maglalagay ka na lang ng positive, negative. Okay? So, x is equal to positive, negative square root of 10. Okay? Baka may nagtatanong, bakit naging x yan? Kasi ang square root ng x squared ay x. Okay? So, kinopy na lang natin yung square root of 10 and then you will just put positive, negative. Okay? Case number 4 tayo. Find the solutions of 5x minus 14 squared minus 36 is equal to 0. So, kopyahin muna natin. Always remember, lahat ng constant dapat nasaan? Nasa right side. Okay? So, yung negative 36, mapupunta sa right side. Sir, question. Bakit hindi natin pwedeng ilipat yung negative 14? Kasi kabahagi siya nung parenthesis na 5x, na 5x minus 14. So, magiging parenthesis 5x minus 14 squared is equal to 36. No? Yung negative 36 magiging positive 36. Okay. So, anong sabi ko kanina nung nagre-recall tayo ng square root kapag kaganto yung given? Apply ka na kagad ng square root. Bakit? Kasi may pwede ka nang i-cancel. Ito, yung squared na yan. Pwede mo na kagad siya i-cancel. So, square root of 5x minus 14 squared is equal to the square root of 36. Now, ito yung sinasabi ko. Pwede mo na kagad ito i-cancel. Diba? Yung squared na ito. So, square root, tapos makakancel niya yung squared na yan, magiging 5x minus 14 na lang yan. And then, yung square root of 36. Square root of 36, that is positive, negative 6. Okay? So, we have 5x minus 14 is equal to positive negative 6. Now, all constants must be in the right side. Meron tayong constant dito. Tama? Yung negative 14. Anong gagawin? Dapat nasa right side. So, yung negative 14 magiging positive 14. So, you will transpose negative 14 sa kabila. Magiging positive 14. So, magiging 5x is equal to 14 plus or minus 6. Okay? Plus or minus 6. Now, i-breakdown natin, wait lang. I-breakdown muna natin yung plus at minus. Paghiwalayin natin sila. So, simplify separately the positive or the plus and the minus, no? Paghiwalayin mo lang yung plus at yung minus. So, we have 5x is equal to 14 plus 6. And then, sa kabila naman, 5x is equal to 14 minus 6. Unahin natin yung nasa left side, no? Yung plus. So, 14 plus 6, ilan? That is 20. Now, anong gagawin natin para masolve yung x? Divide both sides by the numerical coefficient. Tama? By the way, 14 minus 6, that is 8. No? Ito yung nasa right side natin. Okay? So, anong ginagawa para masolve yung x? Divide both sides by the numerical coefficient. 5x divided by 5, x na lang siya. Yung 20 divided by 5, 4. Kaya, x is equal to 4. And then, dito naman tayo. 5x is equal to 8. 5x divided by 5, x na lang siya. 8 divided by 5, pwede mo na siya gawing 8 over 5. Okay? So, x is equal to 8 over 5. So, the two solutions of this given are x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 8 over 5. Example for case number 5. Find the solutions of m minus 15 squared minus 81 is equal to 0. Kopyahin natin. And then, anong sabi? All constants must be in the right side. Sinong constant yon? Si negative 81. So, lipat natin sa kabila, magiging positive 81. And then, m minus 15 squared is equal to 81. Anong sabi ko dito? Apply ka na kagad ng square root both sides. Okay? So, magiging square root of m minus 15 squared is equal to the square root of 81. And then, cancel mo lang kagad yung square root dun sa may squared, no? So, magiging m minus 15 na lang siya is equal to positive negative 9. Okay? The square root of 81 is positive negative 9. And then, anong sabi ko dito kanina? Transpose natin si negative 15. Bakit? Kasi all constants must be in the right side, no? So, transpose natin si negative 15 sa kabila, magiging positive 15 na siya. So, we have m is equal to 15 plus or minus 9. And then, simplify natin separately yung plus at minus. So, magiging m is equal to 15 plus 9. Yung isa naman ay m is equal to 15 minus 9. So, simplify mo lang yan. 15 plus 9, that is equal to 24. And then, sa kabila naman, 15 minus 9, that is equal to 6. Okay? Therefore, yung two solutions natin ay m is equal to 24 and m is equal to 6. So, thank you for listening. Be gentle to yourself. You're doing the best you can. I hope you learned a lot today. Keep safe and goodbye.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today I am going to make a new video. So please whatever.